You guys, JeffreeStar is in more drama. I don't know how this happened, but this week has been so nostalgic with JeffreeStar back in the headlines. But JeffreeStar got into some drama with TanaMongeau and Brooke Schofield's fans this week, and there was definitely a lot of tension in the room when they were all together because yes, Brooke and Tana sat down to film a canceled podcast episode with Jeffree, and it has completely shaken the internet. They are not happy with the decision to film with Jeffree, and Jeffree was not liking that people were not loving on him. So it turned into a whole dramatic mess, and we are going to spill on everything that went down. Now, when I saw that Brooke and Tana were filming an episode of Canceled with JeffreeStar, I figured two things. Either there had been so much that's happened over the years that they're exhausted from drama and are just going to have a little laugh and catch up, or maybe he would talk about some things, throw a little shade maybe at James Charles and Tati, and that would be it. But I did not expect things to get dramatic between him, Tana, and Brooke and their fans, with Jeffree getting an attitude over the fact that he isn't loved by the YouTube community and that they have not forgotten his past. On Monday, Tana and Brooke posted a TikTok with Jeffree, really bringing us back to the old YouTube days. Like truly, this week, with all this talk about Jeffree, it really is feeling like old times. But Tana confirmed that they were recording an episode of Canceled with him as she captioned the TikTok, "Best podcast ever at JeffreeStar." And the reactions were crazy, with people saying this wasn't a good look for them to be associating with Jeffree, especially with the way that Brooke was just canceled for her past tweets. They just felt like this was not the move for her right now. But people were also like, Tana, aren't you friends with Trisha? Why would you have Jeffree on, someone who has not been the nicest to her and has beef with her? To this, I will say that Trisha had recently expressed that she wanted Jeffree on her podcast, so I think she's more than okay if Tana has Jeffree on, but I'll also say that people were not thrilled at the idea of Trisha having Jeffree on, feeling like she's moved past all the drama and just associating with Jeffree in general. They didn't love that for her, but she still wanted him on.
I followed them both on, well, actually me and JoJo still follow each other on Twitter, on X, and I follow Jeffree, and then from the Just Trish account, I followed both of them.
Okay,
so I would love both of them to be on.
Just to see for journalistic reasons.
Yeah.
That would be kind of a good crossover, I think. I mean, again, not co-signing all the antics, but from a journalistic standpoint, we have questions.
Yeah.
And closure is needed.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't like to be on, like, ill terms with anyone, you know. I don't want anyone to feel some type of way, because like in the grand scheme of things, like like the Cody Coes and all those people out there, it's like and Jeffree and me, I do think of fond moments, and he did, he had an apology, and I don't know, it'd be nice to be on good terms.
Yeah, I see that.
Right?
I think so.
And JoJo, I have a soft spot for. I always have. I've always been a fan. So anyways, I put those two out, but
it was rumored this week that it does seem like it's actually going to happen, as it was reported that Jeffree confirmed on TikTok Live that he was going to do Trisha's podcast. And Tana did address a comment about Trisha when someone said, "We need to hear from Trish about this ASAP." And Tana said, "Oh, just you wait." So who knows what's about to come out of this episode, but what I will say though is that after they recorded at Tana's house, it seems they drove over to Brooke's apartment where they were going to go live on their Patreon with Jeffree. While they were in the car, they did throw a little shade at James Charles, as Tana posted a video of her and Jeffree next to an old video from a collab that they did with James back in the day and said, 2 out of 3 isn't bad. Now, this is when things get a little crazy because their Patreon live was having a lot of technical difficulties. Things were not working, the audio, everything was going in and out. Fans were not happy, the girls were not happy. And the fact that Jeffree was with the girls just in general already had people in the chat really upset. They were calling out Jeffree for being there, and they were calling out his past, they were calling out the girls, and just overall making it known they were not happy. Jeffree then decided to go on TikTok Live like he usually would, and he was starting to battle people, you guys, and the chat was annoyed by the fact that he was on live on his own phone while the girls were on Patreon Live, and thus started some very uncomfortable tension between the girls and Jeffree, because he was getting really upset about the hate comments coming through from their Patreon and was trying to justify why he was on live on his own phone, and Tana and Brooke were trying to defuse the whole situation, but Jeffree kept seeing the chat from Patreon and was getting upset.
Live on the Patreon. They're just mad because they paid money and yours is free.
So?
I mean,
what does it have to do with them? No, I just mean the talking, the like, I don't know if they can hear us. Like, if we're all
No, I get it. I was just coming on here for a couple minutes to say hi to my people because I haven't been live all day.
No, I think you have to be live on TikTok. You're teaching me the ways. I'm not saying not to be live on TikTok. Please keep going, honestly.
This is a mukbang.
Because when I'm begging for literally one singular galaxy next week on live.
But you won't need to do that.
I'm gonna give you a Pegasus.
People are ready to. That's gonna take a while to build up that.
So Pegasus, you can only get
Get broke again.
No, you have to spend $1 million on TikTok to gift a Pegasus, right? Jeffree?
I think you should get a Pegasus at the ranch.
I can't take most of this serious. Not.
Yeah,
How could you call me Jason Nash when I have the #1 beauty store on the #1 app in America?
I don't think you and Jason Nash are in the same caliber of people, literally at all.
People are just.
Dude,
people are.
Me is just like I
People are being so mean for no reason. I don't know why. I'm sorry if my live's bothering everyone. I'm gonna end it now.
No.
No, I am. There's so many people in here, and they really love you, Tana.
You should.
I just don't know why I'm being. Yeah, look, he's horrible. He should get out. He's awful.
Someone said Jason Nash is illiterate.
Yeah, we don't want Jeffree to come back.
I want you to come back. Thoughts about driving on Xanax?
Yeah, no worries.
Jeffree was in a really bad mood from all the hate and just kept telling his live how mean the comments were being.
I feel like every time
They're live on
We're
Patreon,
on-
you guys,
I
and they're
don't
being
wanna
so mean to me.
I don't even want to. Hey, it's the girl whose boyfriend
They're being
was
so
like.
mean.
Sent a voicemail on
No
the
one's
chat.
ever mean to me, and their
I
chat is
think we
being
need to do a
vicious.
voice. Tana, you should learn how to
They're
drive. I
being
just
so
spoke
mean to
gas
me.
for the first time the other day, and let me just say something.
And he only seemed to be somewhat happy when he was actually battling people on live, which I gotta say, like, the girls are on live, they're all in the same room. He couldn't have waited or honestly just gone home. Like, the whole thing was so awkward.
MVP to Island, thank you, Jessica. Love and Beauty, Chula, Marie, Lily, VMB, Adriana, Shaken, and P. Dolly, thank you so much.
Like, it's like, who does right, and what do they do?
2K, we can't let them win this next one.
No power-ups.
Come on, let's go. My team ready. We're lock and load. What we doing, first to 3 or best 2 out of 3?
The canceled Patreon was still having technical difficulties, and Tana just seemed ready to call it and do an extra Patreon episode so they could all just stop. And Jeffree caught all of this going down on his live in the middle of his battle, literally right next to them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Tana, we still can't see her here.
Tana, your live isn't working. We're in Jeffree's room.
Yeah, I give up. This
I
is
give
a
up.
mess. A part of me is just like, do we just do another extra episode on Patreon?
Yo, so turn me up, baby. Let's go. Shit, I gotta put my hair down for this shit. What's going on?
Everyone was just so overstimulated. The girls were overstimulated. The chat was overstimulated, and they wanted Jeffree to not be doing what he was doing. But he was not understanding.
Yeah, they're really
Yeah, lock in.
stressed.
Hi.
Overstimulated. It's like I'm overstimulated personally, but only because of this, not because of you.
I get it.
Honestly,
Hey, come.
right now, like they're getting the go.
Yeah, I can't.
Come.
I'll do one more battle and then I
Dog
can
you
end
this
it.
game.
Jeffree ended up going outside on Brooke's balcony, which I'm going to blur his surroundings because honestly, he was showing her entire view, giving away where she lives. And he even says at one point, like the streets that she lives on. I don't know why he decided to say this, but he was openly just discussing it as he was explaining why the chat was so upset with him.
Why'd they get mad at you?
Devon, thank you. I don't know, because they can hear me. I'm like, okay, so move the microphone away.
Yeah, I mean, at least they got to see like what you do. Oh, hit the go, hit the go.
Well, Bobby Joe, all the girls inside were screaming at me. And I need to just take a second to say thank you so much for that fly love. They're on live on Patreon right now, and their whole chat was getting mad at me, so I stepped on the balcony.
But aside from all the drama between them and the fans that went down while they were with Jeffree, it seems there might be even more drama when the episode actually drops, because someone commented and said, say whatever you want about Jeffree. When he's a guest on a podcast, he spills major tea every time. I'm so excited for this one. And Tana said major tea was in fact spilled. So who knows what kind of tea is about to be spilled in this episode, but from the sounds of it, we should probably expect some more drama. But that's what went down with Tana, Brooke, and Jeffree when they got together this week. I want to know what you guys think about not only them getting together and recording an episode, but how you feel about what went down after they recorded and everything with the Patreon and Jeffree going and battling right in front of them. The fact that he was getting upset because the chat didn't like him. Let me know what you guys are thinking about all of this. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.